Yes.
Governor, with the president gutting the Department of Education, sending a lot of responsibility, hopefully back to the states, what's your worldview on the state's influence in public schools and education as a whole?
Well, I commend the president for cutting out the Department of Education bureaucracy, block grant us that money. We'll use it much better without these Department of Education federal bureaucrats getting their grubby hands on it. So yes, block grant us the money. The money will go much further. We will be able to get the job done, I think, in a really, really positive way. And I know they're still working through the details on that, but hopefully we're able to do that, and we're able to really focus on applying those resources in a way that are consistent with our Florida First agenda and policies. And if you think about it, remember, we were the first state, like people talk about this now, this was like 4 or 5 years ago, we were the first state, or one of the first states, to pass legislation protecting women's sports. We said if you're competing in 8th grade volleyball, that girls volleyball, that a boy can't come in and dominate that competition. That's wrong. That's unfair to the girls. And so we were Well, the Biden administration, their whole thing was all about, the transgender ideology. They threatened to withhold free and reduced lunch money from poor kids as a result, in reprisal for us standing up for that. And I'm just thinking to myself, they're trying to wield the power of the purse federally to kneecap the state of Florida's policies, and we refuse to buckle under that. In fact, I rejected almost $1 billion in money from Biden. That one was on transportation. He wanted us to do woke transportation policy. So he wanted me to have the state monitor your tailpipe emissions. I am not doing that. And then they wanted all this money. They wanted me to spend all this money to bring in illegal aliens. I'm not doing that either.
Right.
So we rejected that. And but the thing was, when Biden was president, we told them we don't want it. We'll send it back. They were like, well, what do you mean you're sending it back? We're not going to use it. I'm not going to let you bribe us into changing our policies. I have to do the policies that the people of Florida elect me to do. But they didn't even know how to take it back. They're like, no one's ever sent money back. So about a month or two ago, we were up in Washington and we met with Elon Musk. And I told him, I said, Elon, I got almost $1 billion here. The Biden administration put all these strings attached. I offered to send it back to him. They didn't know how to take it. He's like, oh, no, we'll take it. So he got it to us, and we submitted it back. And we're on the board for almost $1 billion to help Doge. And then we're working on some more stuff. Hopefully we'll have another announcement very, very soon. But this idea that like a liberal administration like Biden can send this money and then try to compel you to behave in certain ways, that's not good for education. And I understand why they do it, and there are times on the conservative side, I don't want to give money unless you're serving a conservative end, but the federal government was not designed to do K-12 education. That was not what the Founding Fathers intended. There was never really any constitutional basis to do that. And so when Jimmy Carter did it in the late 70s, our education system, has it gotten better since you've had federal meddling in K-12? No, it hasn't. So empower us. We'll take that, and I think we'll be able to get the job done well.
Right.